Ladies and gentlemen, do I have some news for you? As I was sitting here working on a different video, I got an email from Activision that had a video in it of some new 2v2 gunfight gameplay. And in this gameplay, there are 9 new weapons that we have not seen gameplay of before. Some of these include a 357 Magnum, an AK-47, but some weapons that I'm not exactly sure what they are. So I'm actually throughout this video going to ask you guys for a little bit of help figuring out what these are. I have a pretty good idea, but I'm not 100% sure. So for you gun experts out there, this one you actually might be able to give me a little bit of help with. So as far as the gameplay that I'm going to be showing you, as I mentioned, there are 9 new weapons in it, and on top of that, it is in 4K. It really shows off what they did with the new game engine, and it looks absolutely beautiful. But before we dive in and I show you the gameplay, I almost never do this at the beginning of a video, but if you do enjoy this video, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. If you do, it helps the video get out and helps the YouTube algorithm and helps me get more views. So I would really appreciate it if you could hit that like button. But without further ado, let's get down to breaking down this gameplay and looking at these 9 new weapons. So first things first, the big one, I think a lot of people were kind of waiting for this one, the AK-47. So obviously this one's an assault rifle, and it kind of looks similar to what we've seen with the AK-47 in previous Modern Warfare games, kind of has the same sort of build, but man, it looks like this weapon packs a punch. It has a very, very fast time to kill, as you can see by the gameplay. Based off of what I see, it appears to be kind of like a 3 to a 4 bullet kill. Now, an important thing to note here is if you look down in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see you can press triangle to switch the weapon to single fire or to make it semi-automatic. This is something we're actually going to see a couple of times through the weapons that we are going to look at today, but you press it once, it is fully automatic. You press it again, it switches to semi-automatic. You press it again, back to fully automatic. Now, we've seen this before as an attachment in Call of Duty games, but based off of everything we're seeing here, it looks like it's actually built in to the AK-47, because when he originally pulls it out at the beginning of the gameplay, the only attachment that it says it has on is a compensator, nothing about a select fire. So I'm guessing that it's actually built in to the AK-47. Now, the one thing I noticed about the AK-47 is that it appeared to not have really a ton of recoil whatsoever. Compared to a lot of the other weapons we saw, it seemed to be very controllable, especially for a high damage weapon. Now, the next thing that we are looking at here is once again another assault rifle, and this is one of the ones I'm not 100% sure what it is. So if you look down in the bottom right hand corner, you can see that once again you can either single fire this weapon or fire it fully automatic. Now, based off of the look of the weapon, to me it kind of looks like a G36C, but it's also a little bit more compact than that, almost like a Peacekeeper in Black Ops. So all in all, I'm not really 100% sure what this weapon is. It appears to be middle of the road recoil, middle of the road damage, and a middle of the road fire rate. Really nothing too over fascinating about this weapon. So I'm not 100% sure what this one is. So if you have any idea, let me know what you think down in the comments. Now, I will say, after doing some research, the only weapon that I could really find that it looked like is something called a multi-caliber individual weapon system, which is a kind of new weapon made by India, and it's what you're seeing on screen here. This is as close as I could personally get. So like I said, if you have any idea, let me know down in the comments. Now, after this, we have a new sniper rifle, and once again, this is another one of the weapons that I'm not 100% sure what it is. To me, it kind of looks like the Delacille sniper rifle from Call of Duty World War II. Another reason why I say that is if you listen to when he shoots it, it almost sounds like it's a little bit suppressed, but I'm not 100% sure based off of that. The one thing you'll notice, it is another bolt action sniper rifle, and with this sniper rifle, it has a rather low fire rate, which means it's very often going to be a one-shot kill, and based off of the gameplay we saw, that is 100% the case. Almost every time he shoots it, he gets a kill off of it. But out of any of the weapons we are going to look at today, this is the only one that I don't have any idea what it is. So like I said before, any ideas, let me know down in the comments. So after this, the next one is pretty straightforward. It is a 357 Magnum, and based off of all of the gameplay that I've seen from this one, it looks like it's a 2 to 3 bullet kill. We didn't see any headshots, so it could be similar to the Desert Eagle, where it's a one-shot kill to the head, but as of right now, we can't be 100% sure on this one. Now, the scope that you are seeing on this 357 Magnum is what they are calling a hollow scope. It doesn't really look like our normal holographic sight that we see in a Call of Duty game, almost more like a 2x scope, but that is what they are calling it. That is what you are seeing here on the 357 Magnum. Moving on, the next weapon that we have here is a new pistol. Now, when I first saw this, I kind of thought it was an M19, but upon looking at the gameplay, this weapon took a lot more bullets to kill than we saw with the M19 in previous gameplays. And on top of that, if you really look at the image down in the bottom right, this definitely more looks like a Glock. And based off of the color scheme, the kind of painting on the weapon, to me, it does look like a Glock. So I'm guessing that we are also going to have a Glock as well as an M19 as your kind of staple pistols throughout Modern Warfare. Moving on, we actually got to see this one a couple of times. This is a lever action sniper rifle. Now, I'm not sure of the exact model or anything like that, but it's pretty easy to tell by the gameplay and how it looks. Now, based off of what we saw, is it appeared at close range, it was almost always a one-shot kill, but then when it got into further range, it appeared to be a two-bullet kill. It has a relatively quick fire rate as far as sniper rifles goes, but I don't think it's going to be a top-tier sniper that a lot of people lean towards because it's not a bolt action, but it's definitely something a little bit different that'll be interesting to see how it fits into the multiplayer. After this, we move into a new LMG. So this is one we didn't previously see, and they didn't give us the name of this one. However, based off of everything we were seeing, I think that this is an MG34. A lot of people think this is an MG42. However, based off of the look of the weapon, it has a circular barrel as opposed to a square barrel like a normal MG42 would. On top of that, if we once again look down into the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, you can see that this weapon once again has select fire, where you can switch it between fully automatic and semi-automatic. Now, the MG34 just so happens to be an LMG that you are able to do this with. So based off of everything we are seeing here, I think this is an MG34, and it looks really, really strong, like better than most LMGs normally are in specifically Modern Warfare games. So after this, we have one called an M13, and this is an interesting one because to me, this kind of looks like the mix of a bunch of different weapons we've seen before in Call of Duty games. A little bit of a mix of an M4 that we've seen before. On top of that, I would compare it to the Honey Badger based off of the fire rate, the fact that it's suppressed, and it just kind of sounds like the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghost. This is a weird weapon. The one thing I will say is for an assault rifle, based off of what I hear here, it sounds like an extremely fast firing assault rifle. So with this assault rifle, I'm really curious to see how it fits into the meta of the game. With a super fast firing assault rifle like this, they generally don't do a ton of damage, so it's really hit or miss whether they are good or not. And then last but definitely not least, we have this weapon here. Now, this weapon's another one that's a little bit of a mystery to me. Based off of what we are seeing, it's an incredibly high damage, really high recoil weapon. And based off of the look of it, it kind of looks like a Type 95, but generally Type 95s have a relatively fast fire rate. So based off of looking into it, what I can see here is this kind of looks like a weapon called a QBZ-95, which is almost identical to a Type 95. And once again, if you look down in that bottom right-hand corner, it appears as though this is another weapon that you can fire semi-automatic as well as fully automatic, similar to like the AK that we saw before. So just to fully recap things here, I'm going to go through, tell you all of the new weapons, show a little bit of gameplay with volume so you can hear what the weapons actually sound like. So first of all, we've got the AK-47. After this, we have the weapon that I think looks most similar to a G36C. The sniper rifle that I have no idea what it is. The 357 Magnum. The pistol that I think looks most similar to a Glock. The lever action sniper rifle. The MG34. The M13, and finally what I think is a QBZ-95, but once again, not 100% sure about that one. So ladies and gents, those are the 9 new weapons that they showed off today in the new 2v2 gunfight gameplay. We still don't have any gameplay of anything like team deathmatch or anything like that, so we're still missing a ton of information like kill streaks, perks, how create a class is going to work. But don't worry, over the next couple of weeks and into August 1st when the gameplay reveal is, I will keep you guys up to date the best I possibly can. So if you're not already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel and make sure you have notifications on. And as I asked earlier in the video, if you did enjoy this video, I'd love it if you could hit that like button. And as always, always, I want to hear what you guys think down in the comments. So based off of all of the weapons we've seen so far, and I have made a previous video talking about all the other weapons, let me know what weapons are still missing. The one that I am still looking for is a P90. We still haven't seen anything about a P90, so let me know what you think down in the comments. But as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, guys, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard.